Move over, Freddy Fazbear and Chuck E. Cheese, cause Rosie Ricotta's coming for you. Kristen here, and we're talking about Pretty Little Liars Summer School Episode 3, which focuses on a surprise Sweet 16 birthday for Mouse that goes totally wrong. We kick off with the liars' new phone numbers being leaked on Spooky Spaghetti, which means Bloody Rose has a way to contact them directly now. Despite that threat, summer love is in the air for our liars. Imogen's job at the diner is short-lived, as she gets a new gig at the ice cream parlor, which sets her up for a potential summer fling with her new player of a co-worker, Johnny, played by new addition Antonio Cipriani. It turns out even he's looked up Imogen on Spooky Spaghetti, which makes me more curious about the site. Who's running it? Could it be someone in connection with with Bloody Rose, with that creepy church? There's also a really interesting Inception-style dream that Imogen has in this episode, where she starts mixing up her late mother and Bloody Rose in her head, and it just makes me wonder, like, why is she having these specific dreams? Could there actually be a connection between Bloody Rose and Imogen's mom? Then we've got Farron, who's being a total badass at the pool this summer. She realized in this episode she doesn't need to be one of the guys. She is a strong, independent woman. She ends up saving a girl at the pool and just really comes into her own as a boss. And this newfound confidence even encourages her to finally tell Henry the truth about the fact that she has been cleared for dance, she just doesn't want to. I just love this new energy for her, and she's quickly becoming one of the standout liars. Meanwhile, I feel like Noah has been getting the short end of the stick. She has this connection brewing with Jen, but I also feel like she is not good for her, especially when she steals money from Pinball Pizza. Like, why is she bringing that juvie energy here? It's just getting Noah caught up in drama when she has so much more going on, like actual life or death situations. Unless, could this be all part of her plan? Like, maybe she has a connection to Bloody Rose. Tabby and Christian have also been bonding over their love of horror, but things take a turn when she finds horror masks that he made in his basement of and Bloody Rose. And it turns out he's a Spooky Spaghetti head too. This is just getting very concerning. Is it possible that he could be somehow connected to Chip, or even be brought in to be sort of a copy of Chip in a way? It just seems very on the nose that the next person to work at the Orpheum is someone who is a horror fan, who forms a quick connection to Tabby, just like Chip did. Just a lot of red flags all around. With all the chaos, the girls tell Mouse that now is not really a great time to have a birthday party for her. And at first this has her feeling sad and maybe feeling on the outside of their friendship, but it is all a ploy to hide the fact that they're throwing the most epic Sweet 16 party for her ever, a surprise Xanadu roller skating party. This theming and the costuming were immaculate. I just love that the show is continuing to pull from the roots of the original Pretty Little Liars series, in that the fashion was always top tier, and these looks were incredible. Unfortunately, Mouse doesn't actually get a chance to enjoy her birthday because her grandmother drops her off at Rosie Ricotta's. If you get that play on Chuck E. Cheese or Freddy Fazbear's. And instead of a party, Mouse is the first little liar to officially be targeted by Bloody Rose. There's a note left for her saying this is her birthday final girl test. She's running from Bloody Rose. She gets caught in the fire at the restaurant, but luckily as it's burning to the ground, she manages to escape through a vent just as her friends arrive to try to help her. This just begs the question though, who was Mouse's grandmother talking to? Who told her to bring her to this location instead of the roller skating ring? There's just something going on with Mouse's grandma that got me really worried. This episode just has me reeling when it comes to figuring out who is Bloody Rose and how is she connected to all of the liars. Something I thought was interesting was at the end of the last two episodes, one of the characters, Sandy, who was doing Redemption House, was killed by Bloody Rose, and in this episode they say that Sandy's mom called to say that she's going to spend the summer at the Cape, which has me thinking, like, who called? Like, who was pretending to be Sandy's mom? That's got me curious. I also think Chip's mom continues to be a suspect for me just because they're so focused on how Tabby and Imogen are still dealing with the trauma from the first season. But then there's also these weird recurring dreams that Imogen keeps having connecting her mom and Bloody Rose, and I feel like that is not done on accident. I feel like that's something important, and honestly, I'm just suspicious of everyone right now. I gotta know, what do you think about this episode so far? And leave a comment letting me know about your theories and who you're suspecting right now.
Consider subscribing if you like this video and get even more entertainment news at popcultureplanet.net. See ya!